James Holder, Freifeld TV, in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. Quite fortunate enough to be joined by British champion Nick Blackwell, head of his defence against Eubank Jr. Firstly, how are you, mate?
Very well, mate. I'm very well. You good?
I'm very well. How's the camp been?
Worst camp. It's the worst camp I've had. I've been dropped sparring quite a few times. Yeah, so it's gone real bad.
As I expected you to say.
Yeah. And my weight's I'm real heavy, so not good.
We find ourselves here waiting at the press conference. We're waiting on the arrival of Eubank Jr. and Team Eubank. Bit frustrating for yourself that they sort of not here early.
It's just you expect it, don't you? You expect it. They make an entrance. It's like he's the champ. But yeah, it's just one of them things. Just wait and just get it over and done with.
Talk to me about Eubank Jr. as an opponent. Have you watched sort of him against Gary Spike O'Sullivan or Billy Joe Saunders? And if so, what do you sort of take away from them fights?
Well, they're the only two names on his record that he's actually fought. Billy Joe's obviously beat him, made him look stupid, I think, for the first half of the fight. And then the reason why he started having a bit of success because Billy Joe got a little bit tired, And I think I was there watching that fight, and I don't think Billy Joe performed at his best, just because I don't think he think the fight was actually happening. He thought Eubank was going to bottle it. So in his head, mentally, he was like, is it the fight's going to happen? Trying to train hard, but mentally, he wasn't all there. But he still made him look stupid. And Spike, is Spike. Caught Eubank, with some clumsy shots and hurt Eubank, and they're the only two people he's fought.
Do you think if you stand in front of Eubank Jr., you're sort of playing to his hands a little bit?
No, you stand in front of me, you're playing to my hands. He says he's going to get rid of me early, but what happens when he hits me? It was clean the shot and I'm there smiling at him, because I'm tough. I am quite tough. My brother's tough, we're renowned for being tough. I've never ever been dropped in my life. I know everybody can. I've got a good guard, and I'm going to put Eubank in positions that he's never ever been in. Places he's never been in with the Billy Joe fight or the Spike fight. What happens when he's in the 6th, 7th round? He's tired, so I'm in his face. He's hit me with everything. He hasn't got any other. He's punched me with everything. Throwing the same combination. He runs out of ideas. What's he going to do? We'll see what sort of fighter he is then.
Do you potentially see this as your breakout fight, if you like, on terrestrial TV, top of the bill? Do you think this is a fight there where the public turn around and take notice of what you're doing, Nick?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Because I don't really get that. I'm always eyeing Nick's British level and never going to go no further in it. But my last couple of fights, to be honest, I haven't looked very good for certain reasons and that. And I've had long with Gary Lockett. I've got no excuses going to this camp. I feel real good. Mentally, feel very good. Feel very confident. My weight is good. I feel real good. So when I beat Eubank, I'll get that recognition. And it'd be nice to people talking about my name in the middleweight division instead of it being Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe. Billy Joe's a world champ, so he has every right to people be saying his name. But Eubank, because it's Eubank.
You mentioned obviously being disappointed in your performances last time out. Jack Arnfield obviously was drafted in at late notice. So how much does that affect your preparation? And with Eubank Jr., you've had a sort of a target to concentrate on, so to speak.
The Jack Arnfield fight, it wasn't the fact that he come in last minute, because you got to adapt and be ready, and I was, but it was just I went in injured into that fight, and after the 6th round, I was struggling. But that's another experience being in that ring. You got to push through, and I was still throwing my shots and still done all right after 6 rounds. Gary obviously wasn't very happy with my performance. I wasn't happy with my performance. It was a good, entertaining fight to watch, but I should have done better. Not taking nothing away from Jack Arnfield. He's a nice lad and he's a good fighter, and I'll say congratulations on his win last week. But it was just I just didn't feel 100%. With the Eubank fight, I ain't got no excuse for going in there. I feel really good. Mentally, I feel good. It's what I felt like when I went with John Ryder, but I've had over a year with Gary Lockett now. It's going to be the same sort of fight as John Ryder, but I'm going to be actually using my boxing and actually look good doing it.
Names from the Eubank team that have sort of been bandied around in the past, the likes of Jacobs, the likes of Golovkin. Do you see that as potential next couple of fights for yourself if you are victorious defending the title against Eubank, or are you keeping your feet on the ground and looking at more the domestic European level before trying to kick on?
I'm just I do whatever Mick and Gary wants me to do. I'm not one of them fighters say no. If they said when I beat Eubank and they say Golovkin's next, fight Golovkin. I'm not one to say no. I'll go in that fight believing that I'll beat him. I love going in as an underdog. Golovkin is in his own little level. He is in his own little level. But for me, it'd be nice to see how hard Golovkin is. I'm a bit weird. I like to see how hard he is. And see how good he really is. But I'm ready for anyone. I'm in this game to fight. And whatever names get mentioned, I'll go.
Golovkin has obviously got the fight with Wade coming up, potentially. How do you see that fight playing out?
I think like everyone else, Golovkin wins style, knockout. He's there to entertain, but you can't entertain when you don't get people at the top wanting to fight him. You're a fighter. You should fight anyone. If you're managed to fight Golovkin. Obviously the Billy Joe fight. Obviously he just won the world title. So have a good fight against Max Barraza, which I think is a good fight. It's a good fight. I think Billy Joe are making it stupid, but it's a good warm-up fight for someone like Golovkin. They've been sensible there. But the Canelo and the fights like that. Fight Golovkin. Fight him. See how good. If you think you're the best, see how good you really are.
You mentioned Canelo. Obviously, he's got Amir Khan, who stepped up 2 weight divisions technically to go out and challenge him. What was your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on that as a fight?
I think it's a very clever fight for Amir Khan because he could have fought Kell Brook. I'm not saying that he's cashing in because I think he's got the ability to beat Alvarez. He's got the speed. We'll see if he can bring that speed up with him with the weight. But if he did lose against Canelo, which everyone thinks he's going to lose against Canelo, then he's got that fight with Kell Brook there anyway. So a bit financially wise, it's quite a sensible move. But fight wise, I still think he can beat Alvarez. It's not like he's going to go in there and he's a massive underdog. So I think he's got the more ability than Alvarez. I think this Alvarez is a lot bigger, a lot stronger, and Alvarez is getting better. It's an interesting fight. I hope Amir Khan does a job.
On that note, we are anticipating the arrival of Team Eubank at some point today. Hopefully we get this
half hour, an hour, or something like that.
Hopefully we get this press conference done. If anything does happen during the press conference or whatever the case may be, do make sure you come and have a catch up, and we'll scrub this out and go again.
Yeah, wicked, nice one. Cheers, James. Mate.
Thank you for your time today, Nick.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it.